Llega Navidad. You're recording me? Hello.
Oh, I just had to do that.
You're like, what?
I'm like, sing again.
Well, no, I don't want to,
I don't want to lose any listeners. I feel like it's been so long since we recorded.
Oh, I miss you, microphone.
Where to start? Oh, my
What's
goodness.
up?
Okay. Why did we not record last week?
So much things going on at the same, like between like the holidays and then work and.
So we had Thanksgiving, but we did record an episode on Thanksgiving week.
We did.
And then we had Thanksgiving and we had Christmas dinner on the same week, which is weird because we had a huge photo shoot for the LA Times, which I'm so excited about.
Yay!
So any of you guys who live in LA, please pick up your Christmas special LA Times edition because there's going to be a huge spread on Oaxacan Christmas featuring my family. So I'm so excited. And they shot it at my house. So I had to do a full-on Christmas dinner. I had to
It was amazing.
I had to prepare my home like it was Christmas. And it was the first year that I went to get my tree like the weekend of Thanksgiving. And it was always that person that's like, who does that?
Everybody.
Like
everybody does that.
Well, but
like I feel like I'm so late because I haven't put my Christmas tree.
Now I feel like you're late. Now I'm like, why haven't you put? But now like it makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do that every year. But I remember, I mean, before I had a family, when I was like at least my little sister's age, like I live with myself. I'm like, who cares?
No, me.
Christmas, whatever. And now,
yesterday we put up some of the decorations, but we're like,
late.
When is my tree coming? I mean, it's just we've been so busy.
Then our kids got sick.
All of our kids got sick. My kids still
both
sick.
of my kids got sick.
The three of your kids got sick.
Well, Diego's always sick. My dog, Diego. It's funny, I always say Diego, but I forget. People don't know Diego's my dog. My husband got sick first. Poor baby. You know how that goes when your husband's sick. And then the baby got sick. Oh, knock on the door.
Mom said that Diego got everybody sick.
Hey, Elizabeth's here. Woo!
Woo, tita.
What's up, listeners? I don't even know how listeners. I was like,
so Mom said that Diego got everybody sick in your house.
Diego?
That's what she said.
Poor Diego. Poor Diego.
That's what she said. She's like, "Oh, Diego got Eduardo sick." I was like, "Okay, sure."
Because Diego's always coughing? No, he's just
old.
He's just old. No, he's young. But yeah. And then
my kids got sick.
But it was the first time my son has ever gotten sick. So.
See, it's because you didn't put the flu shot. Nah, I'm just kidding. No, and then I took Sabina started school. That was hard. That was a really hard week because as soon as I picked her up from school, she was like a leech on me. Like the whole afternoon, she wanted to be held, picked up, cried every time I tried to even like put her down. I was on the toilet with her on my lap because she would not let me do anything, like literally. So I was carrying her everywhere. And I was like, I understand, she feels like scared that I'm just going to leave her again, like in the middle, So I was like dealing with that. Then I took him to the doctor for their checkup.
Oh, you did post a picture on Instagram.
She got 7 shots.
Which I even told you. I think that's just weird. And you know what? It's cool that I saw the comments that people posted.
Yeah, that's true.
That you can actually ask them to spread out, which is
this is the thing. I asked my husband. I said, we should spread them out, but he was like, "It's gonna be the same thing. Like she's gonna have to come back and then do this all over again, and then she's gonna know what's going on. Like she's gonna wait for it, and then she's gonna like freak out. So let's just get it over with." So and I was like, I guess. So that's why we just got it over with. And she was a trooper.
Sabina, right?
Yeah, Sabina was a trooper. She did not cry until like the 3rd shot.
That's
which
weird.
was so weird because Chris is like me.
Oh,
The next morning, she was limping, telling me that she couldn't walk, just like me. And Sabina was like, whatever, just like her dad. Like, she was just like, well, give me another one, And I just thought it was so weird. Pain. Sabina was like, give me more, That same night, she was taking a bath, and then she took all her Band-Aids, and Krista was like, don't take them out. It's your boo-boo.
Oh, my God.
So they're so different. But then, she was sick, and then school, and then... What else? Like we had just...
I have the opposite problem of you. You know how Sabina's like in your lap, like following you around, like won't let you go. My son...
She drags... I had like one time I dragged her. I told you. She held onto my leg and I was walking and I was like, dragging her.
I have the opposite problem. My kid drags me. I'm like, why don't you love me no more? What happened?
So tell me, like, he's not taking your boob anymore.
No, I'm done breastfeeding.
That's it?
Which it's like... I want to cry. Because you know how, you guys all know everything I went through, how much I cried, how much I pumped, how much I was like, so like, you just like wanted to exclusively breastfeed for a year. And like, that was like the whole thing. Like that's the one thing I wanted to do. And I tried and I did.
And you did.
And then he just stopped caring about my boob and me.
Just you in general.
Okay, you know what? The other day,
when did that? What? Just out of like nowhere?
I have no idea. So it's funny, Mom.
I think Mom's still in his love.
No, don't say that.
No, just
no.
kidding.
But it's the other day. I was going to work, and then Mom's like, "Oye, el niño no llora cuando te vas, ¿verdad?" And I was like, I'm all proud, like, "No, Mom, he's great." It's like, tampoco Diego, and I'm like, no, Diego. You know when Eduardo leaves, he cries. Both Diego and the baby.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom, for making me feel great. No, he just, and I've for the past like 2 weeks, it's been already that I've been trying to even this morning. Because when my husband's not around, the baby comes, I take out my boob and I'm like, here, and he's just like, and he like slaps me. He just like puts his hand.
He just won't take it?
He won't take it. He just doesn't want it. So I think after today, I was like, you know what? This is the last chance you get, okay? I've been trying for 2 weeks to get you to come in my boob. And you just won't.
That's so crazy.
He won't. Trust me. I try every morning. I try every night because in the morning that was their thing.
Yeah.
He'd come to the I bring him to bed with us, and then I'd feed him, and we'd have that time, and at nighttime before he goes to sleep, like no.
Did you stop a couple of times and that's why? Or no?
I was thinking of starving him and then just in my boob so he'd have to take it. But then I didn't. I did not do that.
Do you think it's because, did you stop for a couple of days?
Well, it was after the trip I took to Miami.
Oh, yeah.
It was. And
maybe I should leave.
You already left, remember?
Yeah, and it's not, still, she just sees me. And every afternoon now after school, she nurses. And she wouldn't because she would do it at night, only at night. Mm-hmm. And now every time we get home, she's like, teta, teta, teta. She even she says it now. She's like ta 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 ta, and I'm like, okay, so I just give it to her. And
no,
it's weird.
No, he won't take it. It was definitely after the Miami trip I took after that conference I went to. But I had already had that conference planned. I planned that conference out when I was pregnant, and I thought it was gonna be great. And I pumped there.
Yeah.
But
are you still pumping?
No.
That's it?
No, that's it. I'm done. Because
I want to be done.
No, because I was, I was pumping. I pumped throughout my trip in Miami. I was pumping over here. And I get it. I completely get the benefits of giving him my breast milk. Yeah. Even just I started buying formula and how expensive it's getting, just because how fast he goes through everything because he's a big boy.
Yeah.
But I went through the whole pumping thing already.
Yeah.
And it was just way too much for me.
It was. It is really hard.
It's tough when I have so many things going on with work.
You do what you have to do. You tried.
Yeah,
you
and
did
I
it.
yeah, I did
you
it.
did it. You know, you did it for a long time.
I mean, he was exclusive breastfed for 6 months, so 5.5 months, and then he started doing both for. So he just started just only on formula for the past month. He's been, I guess, last 3 weeks, 2 weeks that he stopped, and it was definitely after that trip.
Maybe I should leave. I mean, she's already gonna be 15 months.
Man, I mean, I wish I would still do it. I mean, I would continue doing it. It's just he just won't take it. I mean, like, he won't even open his mouth. Like, he doesn't want. He turns around. He gets angry, and I've always been very respectful, of course, because of the right parenting I do. I always follow, his cues. So I can't force it on him if he doesn't want it.
No.
Well. Anyway, today we are going to answer all your questions.
Yay, there's so many questions, right?
We didn't have a guest again this week, but we took the opportunity to kind of talk to you guys. And you guys send a bunch of questions, and we're excited to answer them.
And we're going to answer some of also the emails.
Yes, we've getting a lot of emails from you guys. And sometimes, again, we haven't really followed up as much, which is, I think that's when we created the group. And I think ever since the group was created, it's been so much easier for us to reply to people and kind of.
And like, even if we can't reply, other moms do. Which is like amazing. I can see like all the responses right away. And it's great because this community is just growing, and I'm so happy that's happening because, when I had Krista, I wish I had a group of friends that I could just ask things to. And there's all sorts of topics in there, from like lice to like
piojos
to like eating habits to like postpartum to everything. So if you guys are not on the group yet, I highly suggest you join.
All right, guys, we'll be right back. We'll be back. I haven't really said it out loud that I'm done breastfeeding until right now.
I know. I didn't know. I was like, what? You're done? Oh,
I know. I know.
I remember when I was telling you, like, I heard somewhere like that's the end of like the pregnancy. Like that's your last like.
Yeah, and I remember I told you my whole thing about how I think it's him and I have like a spiritual connection.
Yeah,
that would always be.
Forever.
I think it's more like a physical, like he's
your
not,
physical connection.
Yeah, like he's not, But you know what's great? That I don't feel guilty.
That's good. That's great.
I think that's the best part. Like, you know how, and it's so crazy to see how I've changed from the beginning. Mm-hmm. How if I didn't pump every 3 hours, I would start crying and I would come home and feel guilty. And
wait until you have your second one. I'm telling you, I'm like, when are you done? Like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore.
And now I'm like, I'm okay with that decision. Yeah. And I see him so differently now. Like,
he's such a big boy.
It's so weird. He's just like, I think everybody knows their kid is just special in their own way. Yeah. So I see that specialness in him.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's just, and so I could see how he's done too. Yeah. Like, he just doesn't care.
He's done.
But maybe my second one will breastfeed until he's 2,
Maybe, or maybe not.
My husband's like, hey, I want it. Can I have that back, please?
He's like, finally.
He's like, because, I'm all like, why don't you want my boob anymore? He's like, hey, I do.
Or maybe his dad was like, hey, buddy, like,
Maybe his dad gave him a pep talk when I was gone. Like, listen, honey. Listen, buddy, we both love you. Daddy needs his boob back.
Maybe.
There were a few times where, my husband and I were making love. And, he was trying to go in the boob area. And I was just not feel comfortable.
Really?
I don't
care.
Okay, that was not in one of the questions. Let's move on. We should have a separate sex talk.
We should. I think that one would be fun.
I think that was gonna be chalada talk. Okay, so I have an email that was written to us. My goodness, back in October. And just for privacy, I'm not gonna say her name because I didn't know if she wanted us to know. Mm-hmm. But she was talking about. Her subject was fat shaming a la mexicana. And her message goes like this. I don't know if I'm being ultra sensitive because my dad and a few family members fat shamed me most of my life. Of course, I don't think I was done out of malice. I don't think it was out of malice, but now I know it was wrong either way. My dad would say, ay, mija, eres tan lista. Lo único que necesitas es bajar de peso. It's horrible. I know. No bueno. Fast forward to now, I have a 2.5-year-old daughter who is 9 pounds at birth and continues to be quote unquote big for her age. When I see her next to other kids, she definitely doesn't look overweight. She's just not dainty, skinny like a lot of toddlers. My problem now is my husband's family that fat shames her already, and it pisses me off. They're nice people, but I feel like my husband or I need to say something because I don't want my daughter to have issues later on. And then she goes on talking about this, the situation.
I got this one.
Yeah.
I was fat shamed all my life. All my life. For like ever since I can remember, everybody, because, I have 2 sisters and both my sisters are like super skinny.
And Fernando's skinny too.
And my brother's skinny, and I was always like the chubby one, and all my life I was put through so much to be able to lose weight, to like, I don't look the same. I don't, and I think it was really hard on me. It was really hard on me because, recently, I was looking at some pictures that my husband found of us when I was like 23 years old. And all the pictures, I'm covering myself. All of them. And I looked at the pictures and I was like, I was not fat. I was so not fat. And that really stopped me from living, like fully like enjoying that, I don't know, that moment. Mm-hmm. So I think recently, I think I mentioned also that my daughter was like, I'm ugly or whatever. So I think more in the Latino culture, it's like a cute thing to say gordita or something, but people don't realize how much damage that can cause.
So her question was, should she say something to the family?
Yes, I think she should. I have told mom many times, like, I don't want you to talk about weight in front of my daughter. That is just something that I just don't want her to grow up with.
Right.
I still walk around naked in front of my daughter, and she's like, Mommy, I love your belly. It's so beautiful. And I'm like, I know, I love your belly too. And I just want her to have that self-love, that a lot that I didn't have. I didn't love myself until now. I'm starting to, and it's hard. You know what I mean?
But it's so, it's a very like Latino thing, I think, for them to tell you. Oh, I think I saw a meme. Let me find this meme that I found for Thanksgiving, and then it was a picture of Selena Gomez, and it looks like she has chubby cheeks. It was like #Thanksgiving with Hispanics. And it says, when your tia says, ¿Estás más gordita? And you gotta act like you didn't hurt your feelings.
Yeah. And it happens. Every time I go to Mexico, I'm like, fuck, how do I look? Because, at the moment you get there, everybody's like, subiste de peso, ¿no? Like,
isn't that horrible?
That's fucking horrible. Oye, como que estás más gorda, ¿no? Like, I'm like, really? And do I tell you you're fucking ugly to your face? Like, oh my God. Like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Care?
Like, what's wrong with people?
Well, I think it's also, I really hope, and I'm glad, we have this outlet to talk and vent and really like stop that in our generation, you know? So like if Krisa comes over when she's older, or my son goes over, or, whoever, we don't say those things when they come over, like I don't want to be that tia, it's like when your tia says, ¿Estás gordita? ¿Estás más gordita? And you're like,
or how about when like you show up and they touch your boobs and they think it's okay, like ladies. You're like, mira tus chichitas. I'm like, why are you touching me? Like, you know what I mean? You know that, right? Yeah. Like, I don't get it. Like, I just don't get it. Yeah. Like, I think we have to teach our kids now that it's like you have to love yourself.
Yeah, you have to love yourself.
You have to, and you should say something.
Especially now because of social media.
Yeah,
I can't even imagine what it's like being in junior high.
So yes, tell them something.
Yes, girl.
That is your kid.
Yep.
And you need to protect your child.
You gotta go full mama bear.
Yeah. Tell them. And talk to your husband too, because he needs to be on the same page as you and have your back and say politely, like,
or maybe we tell your husband and talk to the dad.
Yeah.
And the family. And if your husband can handle it, jump in, girl.
Mm-hmm.
If you need backup, call us. Okay. The other one was another similar one about inferiority complexes. Let's see. Hi, ladies. First, I love your show. Oh, thanks. We love you too. Here, see. How do I not pass on the inferiority complex to my children while teaching them to be proud of our culture and language? I don't know if I'm the only person that feels this way, but to the lack of awareness about it, I feel like maybe I am the only one. I am fully aware how many Latinos are represented in any given situation. Not only that, if I'm the minority, I automatically feel inferior, especially if the majority is Caucasian. I don't know if this is something that was passed on from my parents because it's definitely not something they talked about at home, but truth of the matter is it happens. I don't want my children to ever have that thought even to cross their mind. And then she just keeps going on about how she lives and the experiences she's had. Okay, so I just wrote
a beautiful piece.
A whole piece on this. Oh, thank you. And I think we shared it on our Super Mamás page.
Yeah, it is.
Because I grew up feeling inferior to we went to basically all Caucasian
very Beverly Bell.
Saved
by the Bell school.
So weird, right? We're from Oaxaca. I didn't know one word of English, and they stuck me in this school of these, people who did not look like me, who had all blonde hair, blue eyes, and who went to camp every summer. So it was just really weird, and I always felt inferior. Always. And I think our parents maybe never really like told us directly, I feel inferior, but I feel you catch on to the way they act around other people.
Yeah.
And it's normal. Like, I think to this day, my mom still is like, es que somos Latinos. She says that
all the time. When she gets hot sauce.
Yeah. And my dad also, I feel, is really, not comfortable around certain situations. I remember we went to Chicago to receive our James Beard Award. He did not feel comfortable. I mean, like, he had to get drunk.
Last Monday at the shoot, he was outside the whole time.
Yeah, last week on the LA Times shoot, my dad was outside and like
hiding.
He did not want to be part of a situation, and I grew out of it just by gaining, and you grow out of it as you get more educated, as your self-confidence grows. You just feel better about yourself. And the only way I could say for you to pass it on to your child is for you to fully feel that way, because your child's going to mirror your actions. And like, again, I grew up feeling that way because I saw my mom and my dad act that way. And it wasn't until I got older and became aware of what's going on. But for your children, little ones, to not feel that way, I think you need to really believe in yourself. You're equal, because we are all equal. We're all the same. There isn't like and again, I think I love living in America, because if you live in Mexico, it's so much worse.
Oh yeah, you have no idea.
So
I live there.
So it's especially when you're like from Oaxaca, it's so much worse because people treat you like you're
so much classism.
Yeah, so much classism. So I think it's just you feeling confident and you showing that confidence to your child. That's the only way. That's not going to be passed on. So there you go. So those are the kind of emails that I wanted to touch on. Paulina, do you have any questions that people ask through Instagram?
Yes.
Or Facebook?
Let's start with the Facebook questions. It says, I'm taking my first trip in an airplane with my daughter in a week. Any tips? She's 4 months and teething. Ouch. I picked the perfect timing to travel. Anyway, I know you've traveled. I figure you'd have some words of wisdom. Well, yeah, I have traveled with Krista ever since she was like months old. So I have traveled with Krista many times since she was born. And I think my only tip would be just to do it like on the times that you know that they'll be sleeping, because it's easier. Your baby's only 4 months old, so you can wear her on the plane or just carry her and she can sleep the whole way. I would really recommend you giving her the camellia drops for the teething before, so that way she can be calm and she won't be in pain during the trip. And I think that's going to be a lot of help. Remember to take your stroller, because you can take it up all the way to the door of the actual plane, and then they can take it down. And then once you get to your destination, they'll have it ready for you. So I think that's the best. Or if you are like a baby wearer, like me, like you can wear your baby. It's going to make it easier because you're going to have your hands, free to like carry your stuff. And
that's good.
I
have another tip too. So when I went to Miami, I had my broken toe. I got on. They put me in a wheelchair. I got like VIP access to the airport. So you can pretend you broke your toe and wear your baby, and they'll wheelchair you the entire way up to the gate.
You could do that too. There's also a second question for a toddler. When Krista became a toddler and I had to travel with her, what I did was BC bags. Like I had like a little backpack on her with full of activities to do in the plane, because they're more aware. So I gave her like a coloring book, and then I gave her like a puzzle, and then I had like like Play-Doh, which they love Play-Doh at that age. Play-Doh, or like a friend of mine told me about foil, just foil, because it shapes into different things. So you can create a busy bag for your child and just entertain them throughout the whole thing. And take them snacks. Take snacks for your kids, because they get hungry and then they're going to start crying. And so just take snacks and create a busy bag.
That's good.
Yeah. That's my tip.
Okay, wonderful.
The second question is, I have an almost 2-year-old. I'm running out of ideas for healthy snacks. What do you guys give your kids?
Well, my baby is only 8 months, and now he's eating more. And I've been really like, I guess it's just about food in general. I've been hesitant at doing the baby led weaning that my sister did, because I'm scared that he would choke. I'm
totally
like,
freaked.
I'm always freaked out about that. But I've been letting go of that. And I guess this is, which one really works for me as a snack, I guess. And he loves to suck on it and chew on it. And I think even Grisa likes it. And it's protein. Deli, like smoked turkey or smoked
or chicken.
Yeah.
Like really thin sliced chicken.
Yeah, like deli sliced chicken or smoked turkey. And you can, if you're talking about being really healthy, go to a Whole Foods or to a Trader Joe's and opt for the one that doesn't contain any nitrates or any GMOs, or the one that's organic. Those are wonderful, I think, though low sodium. And I think those are great because you can, you can even just wrap them up like taquitos and maybe.
Yeah. That's what I used to do. Crista's in that stage where she just won't eat anything.
But she likes those, though.
She does. She loves that meat, and she loves the cheese sticks. I really get my best friend. She does a lot of edamame, because they're they don't really have a flavor, and she just puts them for her kids, and they love it. And hummus with like carrot sticks, or what is the other one? Celery. Or also another thing that I started doing with Sabina, it's apple with almond butter. Those are like my healthy snacks. I always just do fruit, because that's the one thing that's like healthy, has sugar, I know, but it's healthy and they still like eat it. Krista just won't eat anything right now. So I wish, if you guys have any tips, give them to me, because I don't know.
I think the if you grab one of those deli, deli meats.
Sometimes I send that for lunch.
Yeah, if you do a deli meat and then you like pretend it's like a tortilla or pretend it's like a burrito, I would smear it, and this is a healthy snack that I have too. I would smear it with hummus and that maybe just cubes of cheese, and then wrap it up. Yeah. Wrap it out.
I love cheese.
And you can get like soy cheese, or you can get cashew cheese. I mean, right now there's so many great alternates for these things. If you go to a really health store, wrap it up, and then put just close it. I mean, you can just be like really creative if you really want. Like collard greens are great too. They're really sturdy. Cut them up, and then you can use that as like a little bow or whatever. They can eat it too. And yeah.
Okay. Now this question is very hard to answer.
Okay.
Why are you guys so freaking hot and brilliant?
Oh, well. I get it from my mama.
No, guys, no, we're not.
Oh, guys, stop. Good, next one.
I love it.
Oh, guys, stop.
Stop it. Okay, anyway. Can you talk about transitions back to work? What was your experience? Tips, advice? Well, we're very, very blessed because we have a restaurant, and the transition was very smooth because we could bring our kids. In our little studio here that we have, there's a crib. But I would say I don't know. Pumping?
For me, it was just okay. So I started working it after like 2 months after I had the baby, but I didn't come back full time.
Yeah, slowly
I
come back.
you think you came back full time after 3 months.
Yeah.
And I started coming part time after 2 months and something, because I needed to have kind of like a time for me to ease into work.
Yeah.
And I feel like the hard part is when you just go to work directly.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of you guys who are able to take 3 months off work and your work allows that to happen, then, you know, ask for maybe to come back 2 weeks early part time, as maybe, you know, a couple of days a week, and still kind of be like with your baby and at work. Because when you go from full time being a stay at home mom and just 100% your child in your home,
that's the hardest.
It's so difficult to turn your brain back to work. It takes time.
Yeah.
So I think for me, it was really helpful to have that transition period to where I was here part time. Yes, we're very blessed that we have our own business. So I was able to bring my kid with me. And then, you know, to now where I'm just straight up 100%, you know, working
Also,
full-time.
I think you need to have like a lot of support around you. And I know it's hard sometimes because most of us, like, our husbands work and we work, you know, and it's not as easy. But
did you know this is like the only country that it's not like, I think this country and then some other like unknown country, I even forgot the name of it, that doesn't have like forced maternity and paternal leave.
Yeah, it's horrible. I've read like so many articles. I mean, it's just, I don't know, like, it's hard, you know. And then sometimes, you know, a lot of people come here just to work, so they don't even want to stay at home. They want to just go back and work and make money because that's what they came for. And it's hard, you know. Okay, so next question is, what are your Christmas traditions, and what ways do you incorporate Mexican traditions into your celebrations? I think food, definitely food. I
feel like that's the essence of our culture. Yeah. Just my family. We are very traditional when it comes to Thanksgiving. Like, we totally embrace American Thanksgiving 100%. We do, you know, straight up really traditional. But Christmas, I mean, we do Mexican 100%. So I think through the food and through being together as a family, I think it really allows for our kids to grow up with the same experiences that we did.
Also, I incorporate like things that I grew up with. Like, I totally do the Reyes Magos. Like, I tell my daughter about the Reyes Magos, and then we put the shoe with, you know, the letter. She gets clothes, and, you know.
Oh, because when we were kids, for some reason, Santa will always bring us toys, and Reyes Magos would always bring us clothes.
They sucked.
We hated Reyes Magos. We're like, I hate you, Reyes Magos. Just why don't you bring me toys too?
So we do that, you know. We bake the rosca, and we cut it, and we do that, and, you know, and I try to like show her like posadas and all of that stuff, like the Mexican stuff.
I think this year we should do a posada.
We should.
You know, I this is the first year that I have a family. Like, it was the first year that it was my home, and I made an altar de muertos, and it's the first year where I have a kid, and, you know, I'm doing my Christmas tree, and I didn't even think about that. I'm like, that's right, I have to do Reyes Magos with him, even now, because he'll totally remember.
He knows.
And I think we should do a posada. That would be fun.
Posadas are dope.
And make ponche again. It's just like
food.
Everything's around food. Everything's about food. Ponche, atole, tamales.
I called my suegra and I was like, send me some Mexican decoration, because I wanted to see something different. Every year I've done like the Disney Christmas tree, because, you know, it was kid friendly. But this year I wanted to do a Mexican so she could see like the difference of our Christmas tree. So we'll see how it comes out.
Yeah, I did a lot of color. I did a color for Christmas. Well, you guys are able to see my home decoration on LA Times.
Okay, next question is, what's the most helpful thing a friend can do for a new super mama?
Oh, I love this one.
Best question ever.
Again, food.
Food, yes. My best friend, as you guys know, I recently had her baby. And the first 2 weeks she's been at home with her husband, just her and, just them two. And I've left them to be alone because, that's what they wanted to be. But one day I called her up and I was like, hey, do you want me to take you guys breakfast? And she was like, sure. So I just went, I drove to her house and I dropped off some breakfast. They were so happy and so thankful, like, just for me to show up with food. And I think that's the best thing that you can do. Show up and help, not show up and expect the mommy to.
Well, here's the thing.
You.
Like, flowers are amazing to receive. Yeah. Cards are great. But let me tell you, like, when I was home, 3 of my girlfriends, they didn't show up because I think they even know, like, I'm not showing up. They sent me food. They got somebody to deliver food in my house.
Yeah.
Another girlfriend left me donuts in my home. Like, my other girl, like, and I was like, wow. And I was like, you guys know.
You don't have time to eat.
I mean, I just felt, even because mom was helping me, so she was cooking for me every day. But even I just felt great that mom was able to take a day off from like doing everything. Mm-hmm. And honestly, guys, and here's another tip. No, okay, that's for friends of a super mama or someone who just had a kid and you don't know what to do, right? Like, just send food, number one. And for all you ladies, like, feel confident enough to say what you want and what you need.
Or if you don't want people to come over, say no.
Just say no. Be like, thank you so much, I really appreciate it, it's just not a good time. And don't care about how you think. Like, don't worry about their feelings and where it just sounds just your time. So,
and if you're gonna go visit as a mama, like, ask what you can help. You want me to hold the baby so you can take a shower? You want me to do your dishes?
I tell it to everybody.
Laundry?
Like, my friends are like, oh, I'm gonna go visit my friend who just had a baby. I'm like, are you gonna take them food? And they're like, should? I'm like, where are you going then? To hold the baby? Are you going to wash her dishes?
Yeah.
Are you gonna go do her laundry?
Yeah.
You show up with food and you show up with ready to wash dishes or do laundry. So yeah.
Okay. I have a newborn. What is the best way to get through sleepless nights? I can't seem to find the time to sleep with her during the day. Not getting much sleep help other than the husband. Thank you. Breastfeed. My best advice is to learn how to breastfeed laying down. That, I cannot stress that enough. Like, that helped me so much through the nights. Every time I would see a mom and she'd be like, I haven't slept in 3 days. I was like, how could you not sleep in 3 days? Like, I haven't experienced the not sleeping, knock on wood that I won't, but like, I haven't, because since the first night I just put that baby in my boot in the bed, and I learned how to do that because mom told me so many times to do it, and that was the best advice she gave me. Best. Do it. Learn to breastfeed laying down, because at night you can just pull that baby to you, fall asleep, and everybody's sleeping. That's my tip.
I never learned to do that. I think you told me to do that, and I don't know why. I never learned. I was freaked out of, like, I just freaked out about. I know you say, like, doesn't happen. You don't squeeze them. Nothing happens. You're fine. I was just freaking out.
Yeah.
So for me was, I don't know how old the baby is. She says it's a newborn. I would just say pump. So here's what I would do. I'll tell you guys the routine that I had done. So my routine for night. I would pump before. I would go to before nighttime, enough. I would have a cooler and I would bring it down to the bedroom with me with the milk. Like, all the bottles were ready to go in the cooler. Then would have a bottle warmer in my room.
Oh.
So then when they wake up, I wouldn't have to get out of the room and go to the kitchen. I would have the cooler with the milk. I would have the bottle warmer in the room. I will heat up the bottle right there and then I would give it to him. I would give him a bottle at night because I knew that if I gave him a full bottle, he would be full and go to sleep. Mm-hmm. If I would breastfeed him, he would take forever. I wouldn't know when he was full. I don't know how much he was drinking. So I would give him a bottle at night. And also, it's great for your husband if he's helping, that he would get up and he would give him the bottle. Or if you have any friends to sleep over or help you, then they'll also be able to feed him with the bottle. So that was just my nightly routine. And then I slept trained my baby when he was 3.5 months. And my baby, I mean, I'm very fortunate, and hopefully that my next baby will be the same.
Mm-hmm.
But my baby was sleeping through the night at 3.5 months from 6 to 6, and he still does.
Yeah.
So that's my tip.
Okay. It says, okay, this one. How do you politely disagree with other friends and family about certain parenting choices? Do you sit there and argue your point, or do you pretend to agree but do as your intuition tells you?
Oh, I don't like to argue with people just because you're never going to win. And everyone has their own opinion. And once you give your opinion, everyone gets defensive and why they don't do it that same way. So, you know, if you want to give your opinion, it's fine. And you hear their opinion because they're entitled to their opinion too.
Yeah.
And then that's it. You know, I don't argue with people.
You just do what you do. You do what you feel best for your child.
It's because every child's different. Like, both of us are so different. My sister, you know, raises her children a different way. I do my child a different way. And, you know, we just do what we have to do.
Yeah.
You know, we live, our personalities are different. Our lifestyles are different. So we're not going to raise our kids the same.
You can listen and take what works for you.
Yeah.
But that's it. You know, and then you don't let it get to you. Sometimes you can't help it. But you should try not to let it get to you, because so many opinions and so many things can like confuse you sometimes. So just do what works for you. And whatever that is, it's okay.
Yep.
It's fine.
Yep.
Okay. It says, what advice do you have for new dads to be from a mother's perspective?
Good luck.
You will never be right.
Never.
You will never do enough. You will never be right. Well, sometimes.
Here's the thing. I feel like men have to really go above and beyond every single day, because we are going above and beyond every single day. We're carrying a human being inside of us, and that human being, it messes up with our hormones, with our body, with our mind, with everything. And you guys are just like, don't be so hard on yourself.
I think you have to be the bigger person.
Yes.
Be the bigger person.
You are not allowed to complain once. You are not allowed to feel tired. You need to be on all the time. Yes. Go above and beyond, and you need to massage her. You need to run like water for her.
And don't take it personal.
Don't take things personal.
It's the hormones.
And give her treat her to a massage.
And you know what? It will be worth it. Once it is all over and it passes, she goes back to normal.
It won't. She won't.
It'll be fine. And then once you see your baby, but I think you know, support her, be there for her. That's all she wants to know. She wants to hear that the same things that she heard before. She wants to hear that she's beautiful. She wants to hear that she looks good. She wants to hear that she's doing fine. She wants to hear, she doesn't want any judgment. She doesn't want any complaints. She just wants support. She just wants
a massage.
And a massage. She just wants to hear that she's doing fine.
And a massage.
Okay. It says, my sister is pregnant with her first child and has terrible morning sickness. Any suggestions?
Oh, what helped me was Altoids. My girlfriend told me about Altoids. I had Altoids with me all the time. So Altoids and sparkling water with a lot of lemon and salt.
I would say jarritos mineral.
Yeah, with a lot of salt and lemon.
Yeah, I think that was the best thing for me too. Although the doctor was like, that's too much salt, blah, blah, blah. I was like, that's the only thing that makes me feel good. So I'm going to eat it. So I'm going to drink it.
So I would get jarritos mineral, and I would put a lot of lemon on it and put shake a little bit of salt and then rim it with salt.
It's called a suero. You know, and I think it's so because the same thing in
en cacahuates japoneses.
And fruit with chile.
Yeah.
Okay.
Altoids.
It says, the both of you have different ways, methods on how to raise your family. Do you ever experience tension because you have different perspectives? If so, how do you push through it? I feel that our culture lends itself to be in each other's business, and a lot of the times I think this can be very beneficial. After all, it takes a village. However, as mommies, we want to feel like what we are doing is the right way to do it.
Yeah, we're both, I think we've had clashes, you and I. I gave you I scolded you big time on your sleeping habits with your kids.
But that helped me a lot.
And you've told me about certain things like the baby led weaning, and like we both know where we come from, but I think we both let each other be and learn on our own. And I think that's just in general about life. Like with your kids are gonna have to cry. Your kids are gonna have to go through heartbreak. Kids are gonna have to go through rejection, because that's the only way a person grows. And I feel like certain things, moms, like you can tell a mom like, you should do this and don't do that and la 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 and la la la, but they have to go through it in order to gain that experience.
And in that way, I mean, and also like just the same thing as like the family just being all up in your business. You just get what you need, and
don't let stuff get to you.
Don't let plus I think we all have like the best intentions, like, oh look, let me tell you what worked for me because this worked for me, and but
and doesn't mean it's not gonna get on your nerves, but
plus
shake it off, shake it off. Like Taylor Swift.
Just take what you need and then just leave the rest, and then do what works best for you and your family.
Like for example, someone tells you you're hugging your kid too much, okay, that's their decision, and don't feel judged. Or someone tells you not hugging your kid enough. Don't feel judged. It's just you do what your motherly instinct will tell you.
You know what's best for your kid. Nobody else knows. You deep inside know what age cry means. You know everything. You have everything it takes to be a good mother.
Yeah, you'll notice their differences in cry.
You know it. It's instinct.
Yeah.
It's instinct.
Okay.
So,
last one, because we have to take a break.
That's it.
Oh, yay! Well, let's take a break then.
Let's take a break.
And when we come back, we're going to go for tips or picks of the week. Yay! All right, ladies, we'll be right back. Sing really quick just to see.
Shake it up.
No, una de Navidad. Esta Navidad
y yo sin ti.
That's the playlist. That's the playlist in the restaurant.
Dude,
right
seriously,
now.
I was like, "What is this?"
It's
like,
I'm
gonna like cut my veins.
It's great. It's somebody's like, "Okay, we need Christmas music," and you guys put El Buki.
Now, yesterday at church they were like, "How about all those happy songs?" And I get here to the restaurant and it's like, "La Navidad más gris de mi vida." Like,
oh,
Jesus.
we actually just had a few more questions coming up, you guys. I know we have some picks or tips of the week, and you guys are dying to know what we bought this week, but here we go. Linda Luz Warrior says, "How much do you love me?" A lot.
By the way,
more than you'll ever know.
By the way, this week she actually announced
finally I can
her
talk
pregnancy.
Finally, I've been like talking. I'm like, my girlfriend's pregnant. I can't say who. It was her all the time. Linda Luz Warrior.
Congratulations.
Is expecting her second baby, and she will be in the show again and share everything. But okay, Paulina, other things.
Okay,
but yes, I love you a lot, Linda. A lot. I love you a lot.
Okay, it says tips for sharing. How to handle it as a parent. My little one is a youngest cousin and toys get snatched away from her all the time. Poor baby. She snacks the toys and hides it behind
Hold on.
me.
So here's one thing that I just went through this when you came over my house.
With my kid?
Remember how Krista took Eduardo's little horse and he started crying?
Yep.
And Krista started playing with it. I was like, oh my God. So this is how it happens.
Oh, yeah.
This is how family feuds begin.
Seriously.
I was like, oh my God. This is going to be the rest of our lives.
It actually, like, Mom and Dad were like, no, the problems start once the kids, like, start fighting with each other. And I was like, damn, that's true, because you, like, want to fight for your kid. You know what I mean? Like, you want to defend.
But I was like, oh. I mean, honestly, it was just, I didn't feel anything like, Krista, give me that horse back. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what to answer to that.
Well, see, for a while, I was like, always like, Krista, give that back, give that, at school or something. I'll learn to share. But I was like, when am I gonna, like, Is that even fair for my kid that she always has to give her
here
stuff
is the thing, what they teach you, the Rye mentality behind sharing. So at Rye, they don't teach you to share. At Rye, they don't tell you like, okay, you guys share this toy. They explain to you that share comes from compassion. Like, and compassion is something that you learn.
Yeah.
So when your child starts feeling compassion, your child would automatically share. That's what they teach you at Rye. Again, I haven't really gone through it. I mean, I can see how, like, like they snatch each other's toys because kids are, narcissistic. They only think about themselves. It's like me, my fault, or because of me, or you love me and only me.
Yeah.
But, once the only way they're going to truly share, not just share because their parents tell them, but truly share is when they learn compassion.
Yeah.
And,
that's true.
they have to learn compassion inside of them for them to be like, oh, this kid wants it. And, he's sad. And if I give it to him, he'll be happy. Like, oh, here you go. I'll share it with you.
I'm experiencing that right now with my kids, because they fight all the time for stuff. And Krista always wants the toy that Sabina has and, vice versa. But I remember I heard somewhere that, they can share, but they should have 2 toys or 3 toys that they are just theirs, and they don't have to share if they don't want to, because those are their things. Like, there's things that you share with other people, but there's things that you just don't share.
Yeah, I do not share makeup.
Yeah. So so that's what I'm trying to do with her. Like, these are your things that you do not have to share with, even with Sabina. You don't have to. Those are your things. So I'm trying to teach her like that she can have her own things, and she has to.
Oh, that's a good advice.
You know what I mean? Because it's not fair also that all the time she has to give up her things for other kids.
Yeah.
So I started doing that. Like, she has two little toys that are only hers, and even if Sabina grabs them, I'm like, no, that's Crista's, and then you just give it back to her. So that's my tip.
That's good.
And the last one of our Super Mamás posted, let me see. Our listener was born in El Salvador, and she remembers growing up. She said, we were poor, and though I knew we didn't have a lot, I never went lacking the necessities. What I mean is, I went to private school. We always had food and clothing, and I never owned anything more than $1 at a time. Now I find myself with the means to provide more for my kids. But how do you find the balance to not raise a spoiled child? Whenever my daughter says she wants something, my husband always says, but buy it for her. I don't bust my butt working for nothing. I can't help but think that they already have a lot of toys, clothes, etc. So how do you find the balance? So this is the thing that I did with my kids since long time ago, and it's worked so far. Krista has never cried for anything. Like, whenever she says like, I want this and I want that, I never say no, but I never buy it. So, like, I'm always like, here, you want this? Okay, here. And we fill up the freaking thing. So once we get to the cash, I was like, I cannot take all of this, Krista. This is too much. And I was like, you already have this at home, right? And she's like, yeah. Okay, so we put it back. You already have this at home, right? And she's like, so we put it back. And then I'm like, see, you have everything at home, so you don't need it. She's like, okay. And then it works. Like, what? Yeah, because I have never said no. Like, I think the more you say no, the more they want it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also with candy. Like, I had never said no to candy to her. And I was like, here. And then I offered it so much to her, and it's available, that she doesn't care for it. Like, she loves piñatas and she loves trick-or-treating. We have baskets of candy that have been untouched since her birthday. Like, every birthday. Because it's available. It's not conditioned.
But that's like us. We always want what we can have.
Yeah. But see, like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
maybe that's where it starts since we're kids.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because, it's always available. So I'm like, here. Like, when I go to Target, my cart, like, it's like so full. And when I get to the cashier, it's like, I'm not taking this. I'm not taking this. Like, they hate me, right? But then I'm like, I explained to her that she already has this, and then she never fights me ever, or she doesn't like, I want it. Like, it hasn't happened. I'm hoping it doesn't happen. But also, like, I heard somewhere in one of the Mommy and Me classes, they were telling me, like, the more you restrict them from something, the more they want it. So if you don't restrict it, then be okay with it.
That makes sense. I think because it is human nature, I guess. That makes sense that we always want what we can't have. Exactly. That's when you were younger dating guys, you always wanted the guy who didn't want you. Makes complete sense now. It goes back to my babyhood. I don't know how to. I think since the beginning, my husband and I made a rule to like not overbuy things for the baby and always keep her like the toys simple and things simple. But I understand where she's coming from, especially because we grew up, you know, with not really having much, but we were so happy.
We were,
you know, and I think we keep forgetting that. I think that yes, most of us, they grow up because we come from immigrant families and we come from, you know, first generation, second generations. Our parents worked really, really hard and we didn't really have a lot of things going, we didn't really have a lot.
No.
And our parents wanted the best for us. That's why we're here in this country. And we want the best for our kids. We don't want our kids to ever, you know, go hungry or ever, you know, and, but we also have to remember that we were happy.
Yeah.
You know, like even though we didn't have this and we didn't have an iPhone and we didn't have the Barbie dollhouse and we didn't have this and we didn't have the Lamborghini or Barbie Ferrari or whatever it was, you know, back in the day.
Or the pony.
We were happy.
Yeah.
We were happy. So I think you just have to give your child love and experience and then just make them feel loved. Give them attention, give them quality time so they feel important. You gotta make the kids feel important and you gotta make the kids know that you're present with them at all times.
Yes. I think one last thing that I would say is like something that Dad did. We earned everything. Yeah, he always made us work for things, you know. It was never like, oh, I don't remember, like, you know, that we earned everything. We started working really young. I'm not saying like put your kids to work,
yeah.
But like, you know, my kid, like she, like even now, she's like, I want to watch TV. I'm like, is your room clean? And then she's like, yes. And I'm like, are you lying? And we go and we check. I'm like, it's not clean. Once you clean it up, then we'll go and do this. So she's starting to do little chores.
Oh, that's
you
good.
know, little chores, like she cleans her room and she doesn't do it perfectly, but at least she's learning, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she's learning to do it. She's learning to like pick up her dishes, and you know, when she gets home from school, she has to like put her things away and everything. So I think that's another good thing, you know, another thing, like you can give your child things, because yeah, you're right. I always say the same thing, like I work so much and I don't, you know, do this, do X, Y, Z, but like make them earn it. Make them earn. I think that way they'll know that if you want something, you have to work for it.
Totally agree. Okay, we're totally over our time. So let's real quick do our tips or picks of the week. Tips or picks after saying about how you guys shouldn't buy anything. But my tip actually this week, or my pick and tip is, again, Linda is pregnant. She's having her baby. And she actually just launched her YouTube channel. And I really want you guys to go check it out. It's like she's going to be documenting her pregnancy. She's going to be talking about, you know, everything that she's going through. And as you all know, I'm obsessed with YouTube. So I love finding new YouTubers. And Linda has her channel. It's called We Have... Okay, by the way, I just realized what that meant. Like, we have issues.
Issues?
No, but it's really we have issues. But issues is shoes. Is shoes.
Yeah. You never got it before?
Never figured it out. Just told me. And I didn't want to tell her. So she's just finding out right now. She's like, you never got it? I'm like, no, I didn't. I'm sorry. But it's actually, we have issues. But issues is spelled like shoes. And I will link that on our Instagram page and our website and our Facebook group.
Congrats, girl.
And please subscribe to her YouTube channel.
Okay, so my tip this week is... I think like use this holiday season to do activities with the kids. Like, let's put the Christmas tree together. Let's bake cookies together. I know, you know, like this is the season to be jolly.
You know, this weekend at church they gave a really great message about Christmas.
Did. It was so, that's what I'm saying.
Right? It was like, just give, man.
Be nice
to someone.
Give somebody a hug.
I think our pastor, what she was saying was like, everyone's like, it's supposed to be happy in Christmas and everyone's fighting all the time. And you go to your tia's telling you look fat, you know. And you're all pissed.
You're not raising your child right.
You're not raising your child right. And they all go, you go to your, in-laws and they're telling you all these things and judging you. And you're like, where's your Christmas spirit? You know, and it's like, we're the Christmas spirit. So this Christmas, let's all just be positive.
Yes.
Let's just all be happy. If someone tells you, judges you, complains about your motherhood or your mother parenting style, just say thank you and smile and shake it off and don't hold grudges and just be nice.
Just let it go.
So
ladies.
let each mom be the Christmas spirit.
Yes. And then that way our kids will, pick up on that and be happy.
Yeah.
And
all right, ladies.
Be happy. Be joyful.
Be the Christmas spirit you want. For real though, that was a great message she gave.
It was a really good message.
Our pastor is Holly Wagner from Oasis Church. I love her books too. God Chicks. Love her. Okay, guys, we're out. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies,
thank you,
for
Paulina,
all the questions.
Thank you, Paulina, for being my guest this week.
Thank you, Bricia, for coming and speaking to me.
And thank you all of you guys who keep listening to us and who sent all your questions.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. We will see you next week.
See you next
week.
week.
We are out. Super Mamas.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Okay, Super Mamas.
Bye. Esta Navidad y yo sin ti.
You're so dumb.